Oh no.
I'll crack a joke while he's doing that. Red alchemite can't melt metals. Metal.
Oh, Street's back.
Ah, that's the word. Sales. That's the word I was looking for.
Oh, that was
There
so
we go.
poorly delivered.
Yep, my brain ain't working.
Classic Dizzle.
Anyway,
No, that was Luca.
Council puts a bolt in the sand,
Okay.
and then he stomps very hard next to it,
Okay.
and the bolt kind of gets hit by the sand and gets knocked away, right?
You're just setting it on top of the sand?
Yeah, just like sitting on the sand, and then he's just stomping really hard, like right next to the bolt.
Might move a little bit.
Okay,
Yeah.
but he's trying to make a point. He's like, I think something happened, melted the landscape, created this range, and if there was water here, it may have instantly evaporated or knocked somewhere else. I don't know. I'm not as knowledgeable in world sciences as other councils.
A force like that may have blown these automatons to pieces, though. It's thought. We do have remnants of many of these automatons.
It's also something that may have wiped out all life on the world. I also had a vision. Wait, was it I who had a vision of the elm woman and the dwarven man fighting in a metal cave?
No.
Sledge.
That's what Sledge saw.
That's what Sledge said. Okay, that's Sledge had the vision of two people fighting in a metal cave. And if something as strange as a metal ship can appear, I imagine there's more of it in a similar style. Whatever this previous civilization was built on, it seemed to be very focused on this sort of thing. Either way, I am providing conjecture, but
Is there anything non-metallic left of the ship? Are there any other materials?
To answer that, why don't we go to Revan, kind of poking around, exploring the ship? Revan, what exactly? Are you, well, okay, children. What are you looking for?
Really just trying to understand. So I believe you had said Revan wouldn't be familiar with a metal ship.
Mm-hmm.
So he's curious that it's a ship and one made of metal. So generally kind of exploring it, trying to see, is it like a general wind-powered ship? Is there a captain's quarters? What kind of things are on board? Were there spots for cannons?
Sure. Why don't you make me a perception check, just to see what you can see on the ship itself, before trying to draw any conclusions.
I just had a typo. Instead of Revan explores the ship, I put Revan explodes the ship.
Revan explodes the ship, and he dies inside of it.
And what type of roll did you say to make?
Perception. Just to see what you can see on the ship.
22.
You make a rather thorough scanning of the ship while everyone else is talking about the world ending and how potentially the ship could have flipped on its side and stuff like that. The first thing you notice about this ship is, while it has many similarities to a ship that you are used to, it has sails, it has a deck, it has a below, it has some kind of steering mechanism at the back of the ship. It doesn't have, I guess it doesn't have the masts. It has the right. What's the part? Now I'm mixing up my terminology for ships. It doesn't
Masts
have.
are the big
It doesn't.
Big
sticks that
vertical.
come
Yeah,
out of
it
the-
doesn't. It doesn't have mass. It has the whatever this fabric is, and upon investigating that, looking at that, you can tell it is some kind of like an animal skin or leather or something. It's slight. There's a slight stretch to it. It's not made of a fabric or of a cloth that you would be used to. A sail being made out of. So it has two sails of some kind, no mast. It has a steering mechanism. It has a above deck and a below deck. And when you get to the front of the ship is where you really start to notice more of the differences, because that's where although it is embedded in the earth here, and most of it is still covered, you can see on the side that is sticking up, which would be the right side of the ship, you can see that there is a like a flap or a door on the outside, which upon investigating to any amount, you could see that this is where like a cannon or some kind of weapon would point out of the ship. But there's only one, and it's towards the front.
The sail-esque, sail-looking things, are
Mhm.
they attached in some fashion? Or are they just laying there?
The one that Sledge said that he fixed, as far as you can see, it is attached. This is where you again start to notice some of the differences between this ship and a normal ship. Behind where the captain would stand at the steering mechanism, there is a large cog. And wrapped around this cog, there is a chain. And one of those chains leads to the top of this larger sail on the back of the ship. And in more towards the middle, you can see that it's coming from the sides of the sail. There are a number of other chains which lead to different holes in the side of the ship that kind of go into the ship and then are buried underneath the sand.
You said the side of the ship?
So top side, very very
Oh,
close.
like close to like the railing of the ship.
Yeah,
There's
basically.
railing.
Yeah, there is a railing also around it. The railing is more made of like a brass, whereas the rest of the ship is a darker metal. So they are attached to the ship in some fashion.
Am I able to see where? Like, as I'm exploring, can I find where they're attached? Or
You can
how?
The only solid connection points you can see is on this larger sail in the what would be like the front right corner of it. That is a solid attachment to the ship, and it is a thick chain that is connecting this sail to the actual body of the ship. Other than that, they appear to be smaller chains that go into different holes on the side of the ship, and the one that is attached to the large cog behind where the captain would stand.
Okay, so the ones that go inside of the ship, it's not like when we were in the ship and exploring, it wasn't just in the open areas where I could just see it attached. It's more like hidden away or built in kind of behind a wall type thing.
The way the ship is buried, you're not able to see where those chains go. Once they're inside the
Oh.
ship, they're in sand basically.
Gotcha. I see what you're saying. That makes sense. Okay. Good.
I was just saying, you can see that Sledge has done a fair amount of excavating. He's basically been digging for like 6 days now. And so he's cleared away a lot of sand and dirt around here, but he mostly focused on the inner chamber so he would have some place to put Jurgen out of the sun and out of the wind.
So I share all of my findings with the group. Just reiterate kind of everything you said. And so as I've explored further,
Mm-hmm.
does Revan would Revan make a suggestion? Like, does it seem likely we could get? Is there any possibility we could like upright this thing and, if there were water here, and get it sailing? Like, could Revan make use of this?
Make me an investigation check for Revan. One last time.
That's not
This
great.
is so hard for me to roleplay because I have guesses of what this might be.
Well, I do too,
right,
but I don't think Revan
I don't
would
think Council
know.
would know. Yeah.
So 12.
With your expert understanding of seafaring ships, this is not a seafaring ship. How the hull is shaped, it's not a normal like curvature like that, right? Where you have like the bottom part of the ship and then the deck is there.
Mhm.
It's almost more flared out. It comes down and then flares out slightly and then curves in, but then it's obviously underneath the sand, so you can't quite see it.
And
Felix is
so I
gonna
share
be-
all that as well.
Yeah, he's gonna be pretty interested in how his thing works.
Yeah.
So
It's
is
all
So
Go ahead.
hang on. The sails are essentially sticking out the side of the ship, right?
They're
Not-
on top. No, they're on top of the ship.
They're
I was
on
gonna
top.
ask about the sail. Are they supported by anything? And they're
Um,
connected to the sides. So is this like almost like a canopy?
They are kind of like a canopy.
Oh, okay.
Um,
I was
I-
thinking like wings.
Like wings? Yeah.
Yeah, they're not wings.
Okay.
No.
Not that obvious.
Does this look like Jabba's barge from Return of the Jedi? Because that is totally what I'm picturing.
Honestly, that is probably the closest analogy for it. Yeah.
Oh.
say those
So
words
it
again
has
so I
kind
can
of-
Google it.
Yeah, just
No,
everybody
no.
look up Jabba's party barge.
Pleasure.
Jabba-
Barge.
Jabba's barge from. Yeah, I'll get a picture and share it.
Oh,
Pleasure barge, right?
I was imagining this was a sand skiff. I mean, like an airship, and the chains made it flap its wings, you know. But okay.
Yeah. I've said enough about it. I'll get one of my rough sketches out so I can kind of show you what it looks like.
Mhm.
I'm assuming you guys still see Chrome right now. Yeah. Okay.
As you're pulling it up and like Revan has given us all of these details about the ship, Tizal would not even bother trying to think of what it is and look at Sledge and say, Sledge, what the hell is this ship?
Oh, cool.
Mm.
He doesn't know. Yeah, that
Sledge
so
might know.
reminds me. Yeah, I already asked Sledge. Revan already asked Sledge.
Did he?
He doesn't know any. Yeah, if it was his people's ship, if he knew anything about it, and he was like, nope.
Oh, my bad.
So you can see on the top there's a larger sail in the back, and there's a smaller sail in the front.
Mm.
And what you can tell from these kind of more solid black lines, those are the chains where it's like firmly attached to the ship, and all of the other chains are attached to different like pulley systems and gears inside cogs, so that the sails can be controlled not in a manner of like roll them up, but like take them from a lowered position to a raised position.
Like the canvas cover on like a pontoon. What you would do with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I know a couple other people were thinking other things, but because I was picturing the Jabba's barge, you did a perfect job describing this. It was all just clicking in my head.
Nice.
Problem.
I'm glad at least one person got it.
Well, what you drew looks a lot like it.
Yeah.
Well, and I'm still finishing exactly what it looks like.
It looks cool. I like it.
I'm not happy with it yet. Don't tell me it's cool. It sucks.
As soon as Revan says that he doesn't think this is a seafaring ship, then Council says, well, there may not have been water then. Maybe this was designed to go over sand.
We'll have to see the very bottom of the ship, I think.
A ship that goes on sand. It would certainly be a first to me. But if we could get her upright and do a bit of repairs, I assure you I could get us far in it.
We're like 100 yards out from the mountain at this point, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So we
And
still
we'll need a
don't
ship to
know.
get us there.
No, I
So
was gonna.
far.
I was gonna say. So I'll say in a character. There is a possibility if the entrance of the cave is not directly west, we will need to go either more north or more south. So having a vessel could prove useful.
I think no matter what, trying to get this ship working is in our future.
At which point, Sledge cuts in and says, "May I propose an alternate?"
Yes?
Yes.
My interest is in Jurgen. He needs medical attention. We must bring him back to this place you call Oren.
Sledge, Oren is a very long way away. We would need to fix the ship in order to get back in time to save him. I'm hoping he would recover on his own now that we have food and water available.
Don't know that he would survive the journey back across the sands. We barely made it ourselves, and we're in a fair bit better shape than he is at the moment.
Revan,
Aye?
think about helping Jurgen. Think about that is the thing we want to do the most. And pull the compass out.
I don't have the compass.
I offer it back to Revan.
I'm in distraught. No, he stops mid-sentence and takes it back.
I was distraught. Oh, and I have it again. Yes.
Yeah, he does exactly what Felix was suggesting. He gives it another try. He kind of takes a few steps away to just isolate him. Not isolate, but just to kind of get away from the group. Takes a few steps, clears his mind for a second, and gives it another shot. And thinks of how we could help Jurgen.
The compass is unresponsive,
Oh, crap.
as usual.
He shares with Felix. It was a good suggestion, but no luck.
Perhaps distance is the cause, after all.
Wander,
I
do you want to try?
Try
Yeah,
using
no.
the compass?
Yes.
I can't imagine it would possibly work for me.
No
Revan
harm in trying.
flips it mid-sentence over to Wander.
Wander,
God.
dexterity saving throw. See if you can get
And the homunculus does hand you your gun back. Flies down and hands it to you.
Actually, by the
Thank-
time
Thank you, Felix.
homunculus
I've read it
goes to
actually.
hand. Okay.
I'm
What?
just kidding. Nothing. I said I have a ready to action. I'm kidding.
As I say, by the time the homunculus goes to give him his gun back, the homunculus doesn't have the gun anymore. And the gun is in Revan's holster.
Oh, right. Warlock shenanigans.
Does it look plain or ornate?
Yeah, I was gonna ask.
It looks how it has been looking since you left.
Okay, more plain. Doesn't have the ornate tentacles carved into it, and
Right.
yeah. Okay.
Wander, you try the compass.
Yeah, what were you imagining, Revan?
It's a way to help Jurgen to save his life. He can't have much longer in the current state that he's in.
Wander focuses on the best possible way to save Jurgen. He really focuses on it for a while.
The compass is unresponsive to you, Wander.
This is what I figured would happen, but it was worth a shot.
While this is happening, just as a morbid side thing,
Mhm.
Council's inspecting the material of the sails,
Okay.
and you said it's like leather-like.
Yeah.
Does it have signs of it being leather? Like, because usually with leather you can see potential stretch marks, you can see where hair might have been pulled off more abrasively than normal, pores in
Mhm.
some edges. Are there any signs of that?
Make me a perception check to see if you can see those things.
Okay. Ooh, that's a 19 plus 5, 24.
24. You don't see anything like that. This is also quite a bit. It's stretchier than normal leather. It's not like rigid, can't be moved at all. It has a fair amount of give to it. It's more elastic, I would say,
Okay.
than leather is.
Council thought that the automatons might have raised against the creators and created sails out of human skin, but that was just he was just checking.
Awesome.
But on that note, make me a history check.
Oh, okay.
They're
Ah.
elm. No.
No. I have a plus 5 to history? Dang. 19.
19. You can recall, as far as you're aware, there are no creatures with this type or coloration of skin. It's actually fairly light, with almost a golden hue to it, a slight like yellowishness. From what you have read, you are aware at some point in the history of the world there were creatures known as dragons, or at least a
Oh.
dragon. And
Okay.
you think this potentially, with the context of this ship is very old, this skin, this leather, whatever it is not normal. It's not of a creature I've ever known about or ever seen or heard about.
Mm-hmm.
Your mind connects a dot there. You're not sure if it's right or not.
Okay.
But there's a potential that what this could be related to a dragon's skin of some kind.
Yeah.
And your average leather would have deteriorated if this is that old.
Yeah.
Right.
Did the music stop?
It did.
Oh.
Chambus is
So I-
being a real jerk tonight.
I think the playlist ended.
Being real
It's
random.
8 hours long.
Oh.
Yeah, we've been playing for 8 hours.
I should go to bed.
Sledge.
I
It's
return
weird.
to the-
Felix is gonna ask Wander, are you much of a doctor?
I have magical abilities that will allow me to heal people. I tried on Jurgen and it had a minimal impact. Let me. I could see if there's anything else I could try, but
There seems
I
to
don't
be
have high hopes.
an illness
some
eating
sort of
away at him.
disease, perhaps.
Is it localized to his leg only? Like that's
Might
where
be
we
able to
see
be
the infection?
restored.
As far as you could see, it was worst on its leg, but it had begun to creep higher. It started there.
What's higher? Like where do we see signs of this
Like,
infection?
I mean, like up to his thigh is as high as you could see it.
we could amputate the leg.
If it is threatening his life and an extreme final choice, yes. But Wanda may be able to do something. And we also don't know if rest and nutrition will help him.
Allow me to do a bit of diagnostic work.
Yeah.
Wonder cast detect poison and disease.
Ah,
Which does what exactly?
For the duration, you can sense the presence and location of poisons, poisonous creatures, and diseases within 30 feet of you. You'll also identify the kind of poison, poisonous creature, or disease in each case.
You cast that, and immediately you can tell that yes, Jurgen, while he is not poisoned, he is absolutely diseased. And essentially, he has some form of gangrene that is developing in his leg. Could also potentially be a bit of tetanus. You're not sure.
Okay. I relay my findings.
Not fun diseases.
Does anyone have fantasy penicillin?
are you able to remove diseases, Wanda? I know such is a large ask, but
I haven't. This is a bit challenging. I've typically been able to simply use my healing magic. This is unusual.
Sledge, did you say the scratch on the leg came from the oasis or from the birds?
The oasis.
And it has been 1 week since he was scratched, correct?
No. We arrived here 1 week ago. It has been closer to 2 weeks since the bite on his leg.
So presume, well, that's too big of a word. So another 2 weeks would see this spread from this thigh, potentially doubling the amount, which would be into his stomach.
This is possible.
If we cannot heal, amputation may be the only route, regardless of if we can get him back to Oren to save his life.
At which point you hear Jurgen kind of pipe up from back in the corner, like, I'd like to keep my leg if possible.
agreed. We are jumping to an extreme. We can wait a day or three, see what happens.
Because it looks around like this is a pretty extreme condition to be in, but I understand your concern. Unless we can get the ship working, we still will have at least 17 days to go back the other way.
And we
I
have
have
yet.
one other.
Go ahead.
I have something else I could attempt. I don't know if it will work, but I could give it my best try. I don't believe it will hurt anything. Wander casts Lesser Restoration. You touch a creature and can end either one disease or one condition affecting it. I attempt to end the disease affecting the creature.
When you reach down and cover Jurgen's leg with your branchy hands and cast lesser restoration into him, you see the like kind of darkened black creeping up his leg does uh, go away. I was trying to find a fancy way to say that.
Dissipates.
Yeah, but it dissipates.
I like the Tizol version of that. It just goes away.
That seems like an improvement.
No, why didn't we start with that? And you
Well
have me
done.
talking about cutting his leg off.
This is healing you fleshy folks is complicated. If this was a plant, done over simple. This is it's a mess. I don't know how you live with all of that. It breaks, it tears, it's terrible. It's awful.
Terrible. Ha ha ha.
I think Sledge is the improvement here. I
So
was
it's just-
excited. I was excited to make a prosthetic.
Well,
There are certainly enough parts around.
That is interesting. You could attach the metal to the metal and the fleshy together.
I don't know if
Wander
it would
looks-
even need to be together. This suit of armor does move on its own quite a bit. You could theoretically place someone with one leg in this with some modifications.
Mhm.
It seems quite a bit more advanced than the wooden pegs and hooks we're used to with our months on end at sea.
Mid discussion, Wander looks down and realizes Jurgen's disease has been removed, but his leg is still not great, so he tries cure wounds again.
Roll your cure.
That's 11. Well, yeah. Yep.
11.
hmm
You again lay your hands upon Jurgen and release some of your life energy into him. And you see at least the scarring that is on his face lessens a bit. The open gashes are gone, but the scarring still remains. Also, would we like to take a bathroom break?
yes. I'm
Mhm.
starving.
Okay. Yeah, I think this is later than we normally take it, so
Oh, yeah. Wow.
take that real quick, and we'll be back in just a few minutes.
Well,
Awesome.
Wee-oo.
I will try and fix the music board.
Thanks.
I think it's just down. Okay.
Mhm. Go back far enough. There we go. I got my chat back. Mhm.
I'm just sitting here eating, and I was very amused by that.
Oh, by me holding the book up?
It could have either been personal stuff or divulging secrets about the campaign, and I'm just gonna hope you were divulging secrets about the campaign.
Oh, it was absolutely number 2.
Awesome.
Yeah, yeah. It's just me and Crystal talking about campaign stuff. So, oh, hold on. No, I'm not muted.